There's a new Xbox, and it's white, and they've got rid of the disk drive. And there's also a new starry 2TB version, which means everything is fine now in the Xbox world. What the hell's happening with Xbox? This is one of the most pathetic refreshes I think I've ever seen. Well, I say refresh, it's more like reheated 4-year-old leftovers. The only genuinely new one is this Xbox Series X Digital Edition 1TB, which is just a Series X without the 4K disk drive. They've slightly changed the cooling and the motherboard and some internal components, but that doesn't really make any difference to you or me. It's now white and it's about £50 cheaper. That is it. But we've not had any kind of proper slim version, we've not had any kind of pro option, and yet it's still 50 quid more than the digital-only PS5 Slim, which is just as powerful and a good deal smaller. Quite frankly, I don't know why anyone would buy an Xbox. Yes, Game Pass is really cool, and we've got Call of Duty now coming on Game Pass for the first time because they spent $69 billion on Activision Blizzard, but you still have to subscribe to Game Pass, you still have to buy an Xbox console. My boat! I mean, Microsoft even call it disc-free with the new digital edition, as if it's like a feature.
You don't have to worry about discs, disk drives, Blu-rays, any of that.
On the higher end, we do have the new Galaxy Black Special Edition Series X for about £550 or $600. This is the top-end Xbox now with 2TB of storage and that very fancy digital starry sky finish, and that is all. And finally, the cheaper Series S now comes in 1TB SKUs. Obviously, it costs a bit more, but no actual change in form factor, size, and also no Pro option on the horizon. I mean, do you disagree? Does it feel like the Xbox is kind of dying? There's been no proper mid-gen refresh to go up against the PS5 Slim or the Pro. They're closing game studios, making massive redundancies. There's almost no marketing as far as I saw here in the UK around the Series S, which I still think is a pretty good value proposition, getting a sort of access to next-gen games, but at a much lower price point. I think the Series X pricing is just too high. It's just not competitive with the PS5. And Microsoft's big focus on Game Pass and also Xbox Cloud Gaming has kind of made the Xbox brand feel like it's transitioning to a service rather than actual hardware that you want to invest in, like an Xbox console. But putting all that to one side, it's all about the games, and there just hasn't been many exclusive releases on Xbox that I want to fire up my Series X for. I mean, we've had Starfield, but that's going to be cross-platform soon, and it's, well, if you've played it, you've already played it, and it's probably not what we all had hoped for. We've got Indiana Jones coming out, but again, that will be cross-gen eventually. There's Call of Duty, of course. We're getting Stalker 2 and Flight Sim 24, both of which are Xbox and PC exclusives. But hang on, just as I was editing this video, Xbox showed off their latest partner showcase with previews of over a dozen new third-party games, including the horror game Chronos: The New Dawn. We've got Blind Fire, a dark and neon-style PvP shooter, and of course, we're getting a pirate-based Yakuza spin-off. Obviously. It does look great fun though, although I don't think we're talking groundbreaking release here. There's no new Halo or Fable, although we are getting Fable later next year, but still this is a welcome change, even if some of the titles are also cross-platform with the PS5 and PC. And you can also now play your Xbox purchases via the Xbox Cloud Gaming, so the situation is improving a little. What about Sony though? Why are they having so much success with the PlayStation? I mean, the sales numbers are just astronomically higher than Xbox, even with both the cheaper Series S and the X combined. Well, I mean, they've had just a much better library of games. Astrobot, Helldivers. They have had their own flops, Concord, but they've also just investing in the platform. Even if you don't want or don't think you need a PS5 Pro, at least you have the option. We've got the Slim, we've got the PSVR 2, we've got the Pro controller, we've got the PlayStation Portal. It feels like Sony is investing and also innovating, and simple things like being able to change the cover panels on the PlayStation so you can customize it the way you like. It feels like there's new ones every few weeks and you can get matching controllers with it, and I have no doubt Sony is loving seeing Microsoft struggle to get traction in this generation, but it's not a good thing. I know fanboyism exists and people love their Team Sony or Team Microsoft, but it's not good for the consumer. We've seen the PS5 Pro, while arguably, and I would argue actually quite good value for the hardware you're getting, it's very expensive and doesn't come with a disc drive. We're also seeing remakes like Until Dawn coming out at full price. That's a buggy mess that's 6 hours long. There's this almost complacency that we're seeing with Sony. So going forward, without this tough competition from Microsoft, there's just not going to be this drive to innovate or give us the best value. It must be tough though, with games, AAA games costing hundreds of millions, they're more expensive than ever. When you get a flop, and like we've seen some proper flops this year in games, it could be catastrophic, and so they have to be so careful just to give us more sequels, more Assassin's Creeds, more Call of Duties, because that's their cash cow. But then I think we're seeing a resurgence of mid-tier games also doing very well. Astrobot, absolutely love it. One of my favorite games of the year so far. That didn't cost hundreds and hundreds of millions. And we're seeing Sony's first-party studios produce some really fantastic games this generation. The thing is, though, when the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 came out back in late 2020, I remember no one could get one out of the gate because we were in the height of COVID and all that. But one of the big pluses, one of the big pros of going for the Xbox that I said in my initial review and still stands true, is Game Pass. The fact that you can just sign up for a subscription, which has got more and more expensive over time as well, and you get access to, launch games, AAA games, immediately without having to pay the full £60, $70, whatever it is. And that is still a big selling point. And to be able to get Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on day one, just download it without paying anything extra, is a big selling point. But as I say, you still got to buy the console, still have to subscribe to the service, and the fact that you can get Game Pass on PC, you can stream it to any number of phones, tablets, TVs now, it's just diluted what an actual Xbox does, the reason to buy it. So what's good about the Xbox? Well, as I say, Game Pass, Xbox Cloud Gaming, still really good value. We've got a solid back catalogue, even if there are fewer and fewer new exciting games. As I say, we've got Indiana Jones, Stalker 2, Flight Sim, and Black Ops 6 to look forward to in the next couple of months, and most of the big games are coming straight to Game Pass. I think what Xbox need to do, and I very much doubt they're watching this, but just be more aggressive, much more aggressive on pricing. If you could go out and buy an Xbox Series S for £179, $199. You can play all the latest games, massively undercut the PS5 Slim, and of course, Microsoft and Xbox will lose money on the hardware, probably more than they already are, but you need to get people back into the ecosystem, back subscribing to Game Pass, and crucially getting people to play with their mates online on Xbox rather than on PlayStation. And frankly, right now, the price of the Xbox Series X is just not competitive with the PS5. And I think when the Pro comes out, and if we see further discounts with the regular PS5, they either have to come out with a mid-gen refresh, which I don't think they will. I would guess they're just going to wait for the next generation and just start fresh and maybe come at it more aggressively, or really undercut them on price. Because other than that, I don't know what they can do. Or, as has been rumoured, a handheld. I don't know how many people actually end up buying gaming handhelds. I actually have pretty much all of them there. I've got the Steam Deck and the Ally X, Legion Go, the MSI Claw. I love a handheld, but is that enough if you could get, say, an Xbox Series S level of power and a 1080p handheld console from Xbox? Would that save them? Probably not. Also, you've got their collaboration with Meta Quest. There's like an Xbox version of the Quest, but again, that's still playing Quest games and using Meta's universe and UI. That's not really an Xbox thing. So how can Microsoft revive the Xbox brand? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below how they can save it, and whether you would actually go out and buy a new Xbox now, and if so, let me know why. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then a cheeky like and subscribe would be fantastic, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chat.